We're back talking SEC football here on Southeastern 14. We're going to dive into the three players who I think need to have breakout seasons for the Mississippi State Bulldogs heading into the 2024 season. So we'll dive into that. But first, got to remind you about Bet Online. They bring you all of our content here on Southeastern 14, and they are your number one source for all of your summer sports this season, from MLB to golf, NBA, and NHL. All the latest stats, news, and scores available to your favorite teams. Get the latest odds and lines, including the latest team matchups, player props, and odds on just about every sport out there. Head over to the website or use your mobile device to get in on the action. Bet online, where the game starts. So the Mississippi State Bulldogs, obviously it's a new era. It's exciting times for Mississippi State right now. You've got a new coach in Jeff Lebby, and I think he is coming in. It's his first head coaching job, but he's stepping into a program that there's a lot that has to be answered. There's a lot of questions, probably at this point more questions than answers heading into the year. But he has hit the portal pretty hard, brought in some really good players that I think will help. He's a great offensive mind. I think he's put together a pretty good staff as well there in Starkville. And so I think there's a lot of positions where guys are going to be crucial, where you think they all need to be breakout players. They need to have breakout seasons. But I picked out three guys off the roster that I think really need to have breakout seasons for the Bulldogs, not only because it's Jeff Lebby's first year, but you think back to the last couple of years. This program has been through a lot, losing a legend like Mike Leach. Last season did not go anywhere where they thought it would go under Zach Arnett. So your third coach in as many years, and they need to get this program back to where it has been traditionally. And I think Jeff Lebby can do that. I think they've put together a roster that can get them back in the right direction. So here are the three players I think that need to have breakout seasons this year for the Mississippi State Bulldogs. I'll start with a guy on offense, and that is wide receiver Kelly Akharaiyi. He has been brought in from UTEP, and again, Mississippi State is in the hands of a very good offensive mind in Jeff Lebby. So there's no surprise that improvements were made on offense. You bring in transfer quarterback from Baylor, Blake Shapen, but he needs some weapons around him, and I think Akharaiyi can be a guy that could be a big-time weapon for Shapen and the offense. He's known for his speed, a lot of speed. He is really quick. He put up some big numbers at UTEP, but I think the biggest one, and the one that stands out to me the most, 21 and a half yards per catch. So when he gets the football in his hands, he's going to make something happen. And a lot of that, again, has to do with his speed. But again, he's really smart. He's a playmaker, and he was for UTEP. And I think coming into an offense of Jeff Lebby's is going to be really crucial for Kelly Akharaiyi and his growth. Jeff Lebby's offense is all about big plays and creating big plays. He found a quarterback in Blake Shapen that has a really strong arm that can make the big plays. Now he needs guys to throw it to. I think this is a really good receiver room, but Kelly Akharaiyi really stands out to me. And I think he's the biggest playmaker on the roster, and he needs to have a breakout season in order for, one, this offense to work, and two, for Mississippi State be successful. So Kelly Akharaiyi, the wide receiver transfer from UTEP into Starkville, I think he's going to be huge, a huge asset to this team, to this offense, and I think he really needs to have a breakout season in 2024. Second player that I feel like needs to have a breakout season, we're going to stay on the offensive side of the ball, but move to the guys in the trenches there. Makylan Pounders, offensive lineman. Specifically, the tackle position is where Mississippi State needs someone to break out, and I think Pounders may be the guy for them to do that. The staff went out, they picked up 4 offensive linemen out of the portal, Pounders being one of those guys. He played his first 3 seasons at Memphis, had a really good year last year, kind of a breakout season for him a year ago there with the Tigers. And so he's looking to do that once again. He's a Mississippi guy from Mississippi. He's coming back home, you could say, to Mississippi State. So I think this is a crucial position. Again, you think back, to some of the quarterbacks that Mississippi State has had. They've been good guys. It's just, was the offensive line in good enough shape to protect them? And I think that's what they're trying to get to. Again, big plays is what Jeff Lebby's offense kind of revolves around. Well, you need a good offensive line in order to make big plays as a quarterback and your receivers. And so I think Pounders was a great addition. I think all the guys they brought in on the offensive line will make immediate impacts, but I think Pounders is a guy that needs to have a breakout season, kind of continue where he left off there at Memphis. I think he can do that. I think this offense fits him well also. So Makylan Pounders, I think coming in from Memphis, needs to have a breakout season there at the offensive tackle position and really all the offensive line there for Mississippi State. Another player that I think needs to have a breakout season is on the defensive side of the ball. The secondary was an issue last season for the Bulldogs. There's no way around that. I think that really cost them some games. They couldn't get the stops they needed. They couldn't get off the field. The defense was worn down. But I think that's where Corey Ellington comes in for the Bulldogs at the safety position. Now, he played for Mississippi State last year. He was on the field. He started 7 games, appeared in all 12. But he's heading into his senior year, and he's looking to make a big impact. He's looking to have a breakout year. You look back to the 23 season last year, he had 66 total tackles, 30 solo, and then 36 assisted. But you look at the Egg Bowl specifically, he had double-digit game there with 12 tackles. So he started coming on towards the end of the year last year, and I think that kind of gave him some momentum in the offseason. I think he had a good spring, and I think that him playing at his potential, him playing like he did towards the end of the season all year this year will really help them, will really improve the secondary there for the Bulldogs. And so there's some young talent around him. They brought in some guys, but still it's kind of a young defense. But having a senior leader like Ellington is going to be key. He needs to have a breakout year. He needs to help this defense in every way possible, be able to get some stops, be able to get off the field, and create some havoc back there in the secondary. And I think he can, just in some clips that I'm seeing from him from last year. Really like him, and so looking for Corey Ellington, the safety for the Bulldogs, to have a breakout year as well for Mississippi State. I think there's a lot of excitement around the program, and I think that there's some guys who maybe we haven't heard of, maybe we haven't seen yet, that could have breakout seasons to help the Bulldogs. But these are 3 guys, I think, in very key positions for this team that need to have breakout years for some success to happen there in Starkville in year 1 under Jeff Lebby. We've got you covered, all things SEC football, basketball, and baseball. Subscribe to our channel, Southeastern 14. You can follow us on Twitter as well at 14 Southeastern. Share our videos with your friends, like them, comment, let us know what you think. And we've got you covered year-round with great SEC content daily on Southeastern 14.